Lilith would take Charlie away at a much younger age in this alternate timeline when she was born. This time, though, she wouldn't go to heaven. She had an idea. She wanted to raise Charlie to be, well, her little girl. She wanted to take care of Charlie forever and ever and ever. Basically, kind of like how the princess with long hair stowed away in the tower, just like that, where she built a little bunker where she took Charlie to. As Charlie grew over into a kid, Lilith would tell Charlie that the entire world was destroyed, and that they're all that's left. As Charlie only knew Lilith, she only knew her mother, as she would play with her mother, and, well, grow up with her mother, and she enjoyed it. As Lilith would travel out, each time she traveled out, she almost got caught. But she remained hidden. As Lilith was never caught, she would always wear a disguise and always travel through, getting supplies for Charlie. Until one day, Charlie was a teenager, Lilith would say, I think it's time for you to see the horrors of the outside world, and for you to train to fight these monsters. As Lilith would cast a spell, normally the spell wouldn't work, but Charlie was never trained against mind control magic, so this spell worked on her pretty easily. As Charlie walked out, the city was vibrant, full of people, but that's not what Charlie saw. Charlie saw a destroyed city, full of monsters, full of hideous, mutated creatures. As Charlie saw these hideous, mutated creatures, as one of them walked towards her, she would begin to scream, as Lilith would say, use your magic, as we cut to the real world. As it was a hellhound saying, sorry miss, but do you have a... As suddenly, he would be rotted from the inside, as Charlie would melt him. As Lilith would say, good, now continue on, as they would go on and melt civilians and destroy them. Lilith wanted to turn the whole world against Charlie. Charlie needed to be against everyone except for her. This is the only way to ensure that Charlie would be loyal forever. As Charlie went out getting rid of these monsters, these mutated freaks, as all the monsters laid there to waste, they were actually just civilians, innocent people. Lilith wanted to test Charlie's abilities. After all, they may be weak, but they would definitely fight back. Lilith wanted to train Charlie to make her more powerful, so that she can cleanse the monsters, as she would say. But for now, Lilith would say, do you remember how I told you there was no one left? I might be wrong. There's been bunkers all around this place. We need to find if there's more people. Charlie would say, alright, Mom, as she would nod. As Lilith would smile and say, good. That's very good. As Lilith and Charlie would gather some supplies, and by gathering supplies, I mean burglary and things like that. Lilith had a lot of wealth, but she left it all behind. After all, why would a powerful woman leave all her wealth behind? It doesn't make any sense. As Lilith would continue her crime spree with her daughter and continue to train her with nobodies. As they went back to the bunker, Charlie would hug Lilith and say, I love you, Mom, as Lilith would say, I love you too, as that's how she controlled her, with love. She wanted her to love her more than anything else, so it would keep her under her, and honestly, Lilith did love Charlie in a sick, twisted way. As more days would pass, eventually it would be a week, as Charlie and Lilith would head out to find someone else. At least that's what Charlie thought. As this other person was Mammon. As Lilith and Charlie would walk out, she would see nothing but irradiation, nothing but destruction, as Lilith would keep Charlie on a tight leash to make sure that she didn't run off and start destroying everything, since she sees things as hideous monsters. But after traveling for so long, eventually they would meet with Mammon. As Charlie would say, another person, finally! As Mammon would be confused, he'd be like, what the F is this bloke talking about? Lilith would say, Charlie, go sit alone, I need to talk. As Lilith would talk to Mammon, and Mammon would agree to sponsor a coup if he can move up in the rankings. You see, Satan was the second in command right below Lucifer. He wanted to be second. He wanted to move up. And since he was literally greed, that seemed like an extra part. So, once Lucifer's out of the picture, they'll get rid of Satan, and he can be the second in command, right below Lilith. And maybe Charlie, but Charlie seems a bit insane right now. As all that was planned, eventually Lilith would walk up to Charlie and say, I have a special task for you. Charlie would then look at Lilith and say, name it, Mother. This task was going to be a real test for Charlie. This task wasn't going to be some easy bloke. It was going to be someone powerful. As Lilith pointed to Carmilla Carmine and told her that she was some sort of monster that created other monsters, some sort of demon queen. As Carmilla Carmine sat, suddenly she would see her children fall down, no longer with her. As she got up and began to run towards Charlie. As she said, "What have you done?" Charlie would say, "I can't understand monsters." As Charlie would hear just a bunch of gibberish and like growls and stuff. Charlie would say, "It's time I finish you off, you filthy monster." Carmilla would say, "I admit I am an overlord, but compared to the others, I'm not." As in, Charlie would then punch her as they would start to fight. Carmilla would feel anger for losing her daughters, as she would try to get rid of Charlie as soon as possible, as she would go at her with rage and with speed and with everything she had. Charlie had way more magic, but Carmilla had way more experience, and she started to push Charlie back. And Carmilla even started to use angelic weapons to hurt Charlie, but as Charlie began to get hurt, she thought of her mother. She thought that she needed to survive for her. As suddenly her eyes would turn red, she would grow horns as she would charge at Carmilla full speed, so fast she couldn't dodge it. Carmilla fell. Charlie knew she got rid of another monster, but her hand had cuts all over it with an angelic weapon, so now it will become permanent scars. As she walked over to Lilith, Lilith would say, "What happened?" As she hugged her, she said, "I got rid of that hideous beast. Why couldn't you help me? You had to be strong enough on your own. We're gonna fight this monstrous king, the king of all monsters." And I managed to... Lilith would have told Charlie that her father perished to a monster. Little did she know that she was being raised to destroy her own father, to avenge him. Quite ironic. As Lilith would say, "We know what we must do." Charlie would say, "Can you tell me the story again? What happened to us all?" Lilith would tell her about the story of hell, but then make up some fake story about an experiment gone wrong that, well, destroyed all of hell. All the demons were wiped out, except for them and a few other survivors, and now they're going to get revenge. As Charlie would go back to the bunker with Lilith, she would begin to train, as Lilith gathered up her separatist forces. After all, they could just get rid of Lucifer, but she's been gone for quite a while. Some people won't accept her rule. She needed an army to command with after the coup. As Charlie would smile, as she practiced her magic more and more, she would avenge her father. She would avenge hell, and she'll make it a better place once again. She'll get rid of these monsters and bring it back to its former glory. She knew that she could do this. As she kept practicing her magic, as she kept practicing everything that could make her stronger. Physical combat, hand-to-hand combat, weapon combat, everything. She would go into intense training. Lilith needed her to be her right-hand girl to snuff out any resistance. And since that she can just believe anyone's a monster, this could really make her easy for snuffing out people. After all, once the coup starts, there'll be a lot of Lucifer loyalists and a lot of people that won't like her coming into power. So she needs a powerful figure to take it. As after a year of training, Charlie was finally ready to fight Lucifer, or who she thought was the Monster King. Eventually the time came as forces surrounded Lucifer's house. As they opened the door, it was Lilith. They said, "Lilith, you're back! Where'd you go? What happened to you? Is Charlie okay?" Lilith would say, "Charlie's fine. In fact, she's excited to see you." Lucifer would say, "I get to see my daughter. Take that." As suddenly, Charlie would punch Lucifer. As Lucifer got sent flying, he would get up and say, "Charlie, what are you doing? Is that you? It's been so long." But Charlie couldn't understand him, as she simply attacked him again and again and again. And Charlie's become extremely powerful. She's been training for a year non-stop. She's still not as strong as Lucifer. However, she had the advantage because Lucifer didn't want to hurt her. After all, it was his daughter, but Charlie wanted to hurt him. As Lucifer would beg to stop this, would beg to stop fighting, but she just kept going. As Lucifer had a choice, to destroy his own daughter or to let her destroy him. Lucifer would almost win, but his biggest weakness was his heart, as he couldn't let himself destroy Charlie. Lucifer would say, "I love you." As suddenly Lucifer fall to the floor defeated. As Lilith would hug Charlie, as Charlie did it, she avenged her father, and she made it so now they can resettle hell. But what she didn't know was now Lilith controls hell, and now things will be different. Alright. Now, this was an interesting video. I hate seeing Lucifer go down like that, but it's definitely... Now, you might be saying, why do I keep doing these Charlie videos or Lilith videos? I'm doing these Lilith videos because I know she's going to be a big character in Season 2. I hope she's not like Stella. I hope she's, like, way more intelligent, calm, kind of the opposite of Stella. Because we already have a woman that's angry all the time, that lashes out at the world. I want Lilith to be cold and calculative. We haven't really seen that. Lilith Lou to Adam, they're always, in your face. They're always yelling, cussing. That's kind of like the whole characters in the show. But I want Lilith to be the opposite of that. Calm and collective. Being a traditional villain in that sense. Because villains like that haven't really been seen in Has-Been. And a character like that hasn't really been seen either, and I feel like that can add a lot to the lore. So that's the kind of Lilith that I always portray, an evil genius that's always manipulating people, doing extreme things to get her way so she can pull the strings. Alistair is kind of like that in his own sadistic way, but I feel like it could be done better. And Lilith can be a better female Alistair. That sounds weird as heck to say, but you know what I mean. And I might sound like I'm hating on Alistair, but I'm not. I really enjoy Alistair's character, and the fact that he's secretly controlled by someone else is a great thing to reveal that I did not expect. Also, another reason is because when Season 2 comes out and everyone's making these Lilith videos, they might find my videos, because I have Lilith in the title. So, putting stuff up to blow up when the time comes. I'm foreseeing the future. So my videos get more views in the future. Oh my god. Nah, I doubt that'll happen, but, it'd be nice if it did. Anyway, how's your all day going? My day's going interestingly. Found a new game that I really, really enjoyed. It's just dumb, I've only had a computer for around a year now, believe it or not. I have not had a computer for most of my life, and I am an adult. And I have no idea why. Luckily, I've never grown up like poor or anything, but it's just, I don't know. I always just played on console, never had a computer. But now that I have a computer, I have Steam, I have all these unique games and stuff, and it's just really cool. As a kid, I hated the PC gamers. I didn't actually hate them. I just, as a kid, you kind of like follow meme culture and stuff. Back when I was a kid, the meme culture was Xbox, PlayStation, PC, war. But now it's kind of like, I don't care what you play on. PlayStation, Xbox, PC, who cares what you play on? Who cares what you use to play a game? As long as you play a game and have fun. That's all that matters, I don't get it. But yeah, hope you all had a good day. Love you all. Peace out.